जी हाँ दोस्तों, आपका स्वागत है आज के प्रोग्राम में बदलते दौर में। मैं हूं आपका दोस्त दानिश महाजन। हर बार की तरह बदलते दौर की डिबेट के बाद आज बारी है डिस्कशन की। इससे पहले कि मैं आपको टॉपिक बताऊं, अपने पैनलिस्ट से रूबरू करवाऊं, उससे पहले आज की हेडलाइंस। हिमाचल के मंडी में ब्यास नदी में बस के गिरने से हैदराबाद के 24 स्टूडेंट लापता। अरविंद केजरीवाल ने कहा बदलेंगे पूरी तरह से आम आदमी पार्टी को। रेप केसेस पर एसपी बीजेपी के बाद कांग्रेस के लीडर्स के बेहुदे बयान जारी। यूएन शुरू कर सकती है नेल्सन मंडेला अवार्ड। अक्षय कुमार की मूवी हॉलीवुड इस साल की तीसरे नंबर पर मूवी। और क्रिकेट की दुनिया में शोएब अख्तर ने उन खबरों का खंडन किया जिसमें बताया जा रहा था कि शोएब अख्तर 17 साल की रुबाब से करने जा रहे हैं निगाह। तो तमाम हेडलाइंस के बाद एक बार दोबारा आप सभी का स्वागत है। और दोस्तों, आज हम जिस टॉपिक को डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं वो बहुत जरूरी है हर मायने से हमारी सोसाइटी के लिए। हमने तमाम प्लेसेस में वर्कशॉप जहां हर मंच पर बात करते हैं, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं इस टॉपिक को छोड़ देते हैं। तो आज हम बात करने जा रहे हैं डिसेबिलिटी डिस्कोर्स के ऊपर, यानी विकलांगता विमर्श। इस पर हमारे पैनलिस्ट हैं। आई हैव गॉट डॉक्टर सरीन, द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ प्रोग्रेसिव सोसाइटी and the professor of political science in Satyavati College. I extend a very warm welcome, sir.
Thank you.
We have got the Vice President of Kerala Federation of the Blind, as well as the English Assistant Professor of English, Mr. Habib. Sir, welcome.
Thank you.
We have got Mr. MP Yadav, first time joining us. He is the Professor of English in Lakshmi Bai College, Delhi University. I extend a sir very warm welcome.
Thank you very much indeed.
We have invited a sociologist, समाज शास्त्री पहली बार हमें ज्वाइन करेंगे डिस्कशन में, Mr. Annavaram. We are waiting for him. He will be with us within 5 minutes. And we have got a special person, first time young voice, a media spokesperson of Radio Udan, Bala Nagendran. Why we have choose this person? Because he is reviewing every week a look into a book, a particular book, so he can talk about the disability discourse as well. Balanigan, welcome here.
Thanks a lot.
So my first question goes to Sarin sir. Sarin sir, ये बताएं डिसेबिलिटी डिस्कोर्स क्या है? किस तरीके से देखते हैं आप डिसेबिलिटी डिस्कोर्स को? ये है क्या?
पहले तो हमें ये समझना पड़ेगा कि आफ्टर डिस्कोर्स क्या है। कि कोई समाज विशेष अपनी बात को अगर खुले तौर पे अन्य समाज के लोगों को बताना चाहता है, तभी जाके एक डिस्कोर्स की शुरुआत होती है। बिकॉज इन डिस्कशन वी डू से कि डिसेबल्ड ऐसा हो, डिसेबल्ड वैसा हो, डिसेबल्ड क्या है, डिसेबल्ड क्या नहीं है, विद ऑल इफ्स एंड बट्स। बट एक सही मायने में अगर हम डिसेबल्ड क्या है, डिसेबल्ड की रियलिटी क्या है उसे बताना है, तो वन हैज टू टॉक इन टर्म्स ऑफ सम डिस्कोर्स। राइटिंग ऑन द डिसेबिलिटी, टॉकिंग अबाउट द डिसेबिलिटी, नरेटिंग वेरियस इश्यूज रिलेटिंग टू डिसेबिलिटी, सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ। और ये लगभग उस धारा से जुड़ा हुआ है। जैसे समाज के बदलते दौर में हमने महिला डिस्कोर्स देखा, महिला विमर्श देखा, वीमेन डिस्कोर्स चला, दलित विमर्श देखा, दलित डिस्कोर्स चला, या इवन ब्लैक्स का अपना एक डिस्कोर्स चला, जिसको एग्जैक्टली नीग्रो तो नहीं कह सकते हो, नीग्रो कई बार लोग गाली की तरह समझते हैं, बट स्टिल इट्स अ डिस्कोर्स ऑफ दोज हु आर ब्लैक्स और मे बी दोज हु बिलीव इन पैन अफ्रीकन। तो ये वो जरिया है जिससे हम व्यवहारिक रूप में एक प्रैक्टिकल शेप देते हुए बता सकें कि आफ्टर ऑल हमारी समस्याएं हैं क्या। It may be in the form of poetry, maybe in the form of story, maybe in the form of novel, maybe in the form of biographies or autobiographies, and so on.
Ji. Mr. Habib,
Yes.
we want to know what is its need? Why we need disability discourse?
Why we need disability discourse? It's a very surprising question, because we understand that so far, ever since the origin of civilizations, the concept of disability and those who were representing disabilities, different challenges, were not originally perceived as they were. To begin, let me just give you an example. From the very beginning of societies, we see the visually impaired people being referred to as the blind. The blind actually in English means window blinds. That means that prevents light. So the reason for this visually impaired being addressed as blind was because there was an association of visual deficiency with darkness. So the society, general society, is still believing that what they experience in darkness is what is called blindness, whereas there isn't any relation to darkness for a totally visually challenged person who has never known what is light. This is a simple example with regard to the visually impaired. In the case of all such disabilities, we understand that the mainstream society has never been ready to understand what is the original experience of the challenged people. For example, we know that even if the feminist discourses are not able to change the society in a wide range, what they were able to do is that they were able to make the society understand that there is a different group whose feelings and whose experience are totally different from how they were represented and constructed in the mainstream discourses. So even though the disabled community all over the world, maybe it is visually challenged, hearing impaired, or orthopedically challenged, they are all well organized, they have adequate rights, they have adequate representations, like in the sense of like social legislation, educational representation and all that. But the society's attitude so far has not yet changed considerably. The main reason, of course, is that the society is not able to fully understand what are the autonomy of the challenged candidate, what is the real feeling, real experience. And I think that the more is the difficulty of the mainstream society to understand the feeling and the experience of a challenged person, the more is the stereotyping and wrong construction and negative perception that goes about this. So I think that the only solution to curb this menace, at least to a limited extent in the coming days, of course, is to develop a discourse giving emphasis to the original experience and original feelings of the so-called challenged groups.
We are very impressed with your views always. So before we proceed, I would like to request listeners, if you have any question, you can drop your question to our Skype ID RADIOUDAAN, and our experts will surely reply to your questions. जी यादव सर, मैं आपसे जानना चाहूँगा कि डिसेबिलिटी डिस्कोर्स के अंदर हम किन चीजों को कवर कर सकते हैं, क्या क्या कवर कर सकते हैं और क्या क्या कवर हो सकता है?
Yeah, okay. See, I would like to, contribute from where
your voice is breaking, sir.
I know the earlier panelist dropped. See, society doesn't. Okay, disability has been a discourse in, particularly in the special education. Disability is, a discourse a little.
Your voice is coming and going, sir.
In the social science. discourses which we may... Okay. Am I audible to you now? Hello?
Ji,
Hello?
but not pretty much clear. Okay, please.
Yes.
Boliye. Ji.
For phases. One, disability in the age of annihilation. You see? Then, disability in the age of emancipation. There used to be a time when disabled children were annihilated. They were thrown in the rivers. Society didn't understand. And then came the age of emancipation. And because of a certain compassionate elements, certain religious forces, disabled people were emancipated. And then came the integration, age of integration. And now we are in the age of inclusivism. Now we are advocating the politics of inclusivism. So these are the discourses in disability. But now, see, I am reminded of a former Vice Chancellor of Delhi University, whom we invited in our discussion when we were working in Mobaisa organization. The former Vice Chancellor of Delhi University, Professor Bakshi, said that there is a need of writing disability literature. Until or unless disability literature is written, until or unless you discourse on disabilities in literature, society would not understand you.
Yeah.
So now there is a need to write and translate literature in disabilities. See, if there can be Dalit literature, if there can be feminist literature, if there can be even fourth world literature, why can't there be disability literature? And there has been, actually, if you see, right from the days of Homer or Milton or Byron, there has been disability literature. Disabled people have contributed to literature and society to a very large extent.
Ji.
Though the same has not been acknowledged to the extent that it should have been acknowledged. तो प्रोफेसर बख्शी ने ये बात कहा था कि अगर आप अपनी लिटरेचर खुद नहीं लिखेंगे तो कोई और नहीं लिखेगा. And therefore there is a need of writing disability literature. Disabled people should write their own literature. They should inspire others, I mean not disabled people, to write disability literature. Disability literature should be translated. Only then society is going to understand us, otherwise not. We are forgetting our own history. See, disability is a philosophy. Disability is a psychology. Disability is a history. But very unfortunately, we are forgetting our own history, you see. So society, and we say society doesn't understand us. Society will understand when we write our own literature. I was working as a school lecturer earlier. Later on, I joined the Department of English, Lakshmi Bai College, Delhi University, as a professor. Then I realized, instead of working on other kind of literature, why shouldn't I work on disability literature? And now I have published my 4 books in comparative Indian literature, where disability finds its fullest expression. These books deal with the theme of discrimination, other things, right? So I want my friends to work on that line. We should concentrate on that. Only then society is going to understand. I mean, this is where Dr. Habib left, I think. Huh? So
Yeah.
I have just carried that.
Okay.
And we should, remember, let's recollect that Professor Bakshi was very emphatic. He was very assertive when he came to our mobile program. तो Professor Bakshi साहब ने, Vice Chancellor साहब ने ये कहा, very emphatic.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I will get back to you after. Bala Nagendran. Ji, Yadav sir, I will get back to you afterwards. We heard Mr. Bakshi. Yeah. Bala Nagendran, I would go on. And first question, very simple first question to you. Do you feel we have disability discourse? Yes or no?
First and foremost, I would like to say, like, what you have chosen, we can put it in both contexts. One, on the context of India, and two, on the context of the rest of the world. I would like to see in this perspective as we focus on India and the world. If we see in the world's perspective, disability discourse has been considered as an academic discipline. But all the scholars, according to the works that I've done to prepare for this, I have found have done a phenomenal job to prove what they have found, but alas, they have forgotten to prove to the layman that what they have found. This is what the first and foremost problem, because they are seeing discourse as something like saying the truth, or in the modernity perspective, saying what means to them according to their language. But in my view, disability discourse, or a discourse in simple, as our Serene sir put it in simple words, discourse is nothing but what you say, what you feel about the attitude, course of action, beliefs and practices of a particular community. It may be an individual as well, if you consider individual. In this sense, I would like to put it as a disability as a class. In the class perspective, if you see proletariat of the proletariat, I won't put it in the proletariat class. Disability is a deprived and discriminated class in Indian context. So discourse is there, but not with the disabilities. That's what my view in India.
So, next question to you, Bala. Then you are reviewing the book every week.
Yes.
Why haven't you reviewed a single book written by the disabled people or any book on the disabled? Do the youngsters are not focusing over the disability discourse?
Yeah, that's a very good question as you have put in. First, from my perspective, what I feel when I read about any disability related subjects, like you can say the biography of Helen Keller, or you can say Paradise Lost or Paradise Gained by John Milton. Or lately, nowadays I am going with our Serene sir's gifted book, Walking Alone, Marching Together by Floyd Matson. Everything is different. What the authors in other creations are trying to prove, that even if you do a tiny change, they have showed it in a tremendous form. Like they have showed a heroic perspective. They have painted and tainted and made a glitter to turn it to gold. So that's where I differ from all of them. Even if you take into a movie or whatever you take it, when a person with disabilities do something different or something, if he altered anything, that has been showed as he has achieved the peak of Everest. So I don't want to show what they have believed that this person achieved Everest. According to me, he hasn't achieved Everest. This is common. I want to, in case of disabled people, I want all of them to come to mainstream rather than being in the simple circle called persons with disabilities. As our sir put it in the words like disability is a history. If disability is a history, that must be read by everyone rather than those who create history. So that's why I haven't chosen till date.
Okay. Serene sir, मैं सभी से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि आप अपने जो बातें हैं ब्रीफ में रखिए ताकि हम ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा बातें कवर कर सकें. So, Serene sir, I will get back to you. Two questions to you. One, there are some books and novels like Mangala, like The Shop Daughter of the Blind Father, the Bhagya Chakra, or some books written by the blind, like Helen Keller biography, or the books written by Helen Keller. Do you believe it is a part of disability discourse? Or other question I would like to add one more. In India, in mainstream people, I would like to know authors. Does anybody मतलब किसी ने इस पे काम किया है आपके अकॉर्डिंग डिसेबिलिटी डिस्कोर्स के ऊपर?
दो क्वेश्चन है, दोनों में ही थोड़ा सा टाइम चाहिए होगा।
जी आप टाइम दिया और समझाइए हमें।
पहले क्वेश्चन का जवाब इससे पहले मैं ये डिफरेंस समझाने की कोशिश करूंगा। खाली डिसेबल्ड द्वारा लिखा गया लिटरेचर डिसेबिलिटी डिस्कोर्स नहीं हो सकता। सी यू टेक अ केस ऑफ अनंत गोपाल शेवड़े, जिन्होंने मंगला लिखी, वो तो डिसेबल्ड नहीं थे। मंगला में उन्होंने जो कुछ डिपिक्ट किया सही है या गलत है उस पर डिबेट की जा सकती है, बट इट इज वन ऑफ द वे ऑफ एक्सप्रेसिंग व्हाट काइंड ऑफ रियल डिसेबिलिटी वन फेसेस इफ वन गेट्स मैरिड बाय नॉन डिसेबल्ड। एक इशू है और ये इशू ये फर्क नहीं पड़ता, लेकिन इशू इज इशू। टेक अनदर एग्जांपल जो मैं कहना चाह रहा हूँ, सूरदास जी ने पूरा जितना महाकाव्य लिखा इतने अच्छे ढंग से लिखा कि लोगों ने यहाँ तक कहना शुरू किया कि ही मे नॉट बी ब्लाइंड फ्रॉम बर्थ, ऐसा वो लिख ही नहीं सकते। लेकिन क्या हम पढ़ने के बाद अपनी इमेजिनेशन नहीं बढ़ा सकते? क्या वही जो कुछ उन्होंने लिखा हो भागवत पुराण में कहीं ना कहीं मिलता नहीं है? तो हम डाउट करने लगते हैं। लेकिन सूरदास के को हम डिसेबिलिटी डिस्कोर्स नहीं कहेंगे। डिसेबिलिटी डिस्कोर्स कहने के लिए इट शुड बी अराउंड डिसेबल्ड। और सियाराम शरण गुप्त जैसे मुझको देवी के प्रसाद का एक फूल ही 2 लाख लगते हैं, वो तो डिसेबल्ड नहीं, वो दलित नहीं है सियाराम शरण गुप्त, लेकिन वो दलित पर एक ऐसी भावहीनी कविता लिखते हैं जो कि बहुत दूर तक छू जाती है मानस पटल में। समवेयर डाउन द लाइन यू आर सपोज्ड टू टच रियल इमोशंस, अदरवाइज it's a flop. Now, Bala says something about American writers, some small achievements, but perhaps if you touch upon, though I am not a very appreciator of whatever Americans do, I have got my own limitations, but still, if you take the case of Kenneth Jernigan, जो सीधा सीधा सवाल करता है blindness and religion, blindness and history, blindness, misconceptions and conceptions. Thereby you're touching people that say somewhere down the line, blind people were neglected. Or disability at large is neglected. And that kind of thing, if you read within the lines, Helen Keller, you find that within the disability, even to start a discourse, there is a dialectics. जो हेलन केलर लिख रही हैं उनको शायद डेफ एंड म्यूट की समस्या ज्यादा दिखती है इन कंपैरिजन टू ब्लाइंड, तो उसमें दिक्कत नहीं है। यू कैन बी एरोगेंट, यू कैन इवन डिफर फ्रॉम समबडी, बट द थिंग इज यू शुड एम्फेटिकली राइट व्हाट यू एक्सपीरियंस। जब वो ये शो करते हैं मेरे हाथ पे पानी गिरा के मुझसे वाटर बुलवाया गया, दैट गिव्स अ प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल कि आप कैसे टीच करोगे डेफ एंड म्यूट को। अब इंडिया की बात करेंगे। इंडिया में इस ढंग के साहित्य की सिंसियर कोशिश अभी तक नहीं। एक प्रयास पता नहीं जगदीश जी से ला पाएंगे या नहीं मालूम नहीं है, लाल अडवाणी पर एक पुस्तक लिखी गई है जिसकी एक छोटी पुस्तिका जरूर वो लाए, लेकिन उसके बाद कोई ऐसा बड़ा काम किया गया मुझे डाउट। मैं मानता हूँ कि बायोग्राफिक्स खुद ब्लाइंड को आगे आके ऑटोबायोग्राफी या बायोग्राफी या इवन हिस्ट्री ऑफ द मूवमेंट एज सच लिखना चाहिए। वो छोटे छोटे अनुभव, कभी आप उठा के देखिए अफ्रीकन लिटरेचर को, तो बड़ी छोटी छोटी सीधी सादी कहानियां हैं और वो आपको बताती हैं कहीं क्या समस्या झेली जाती है। या जैसे जिस इंग्लिश किताब का मैं उन्होंने दानिश जी ने चर्चा किया, डॉटर ऑफ अ ब्लाइंड फादर, कि बीइंग ए ब्लाइंड फादर वो कहीं गिर जाते हैं तो उसकी लड़की उन्हें कैसे ढूंढने जाती है। उसका गिरना बेसिक ट्रुथ, और उसको छिपाए नहीं जी ब्लाइंड बिना स्टिक के भी धड़ल्ले से कहीं नहीं चला जाएगा, देन यू आर नॉट कन्फेसिंग। कन्फेशन चाहिए, मिशनरी स्पिरिट चाहिए, और ये चाहिए कि लोग क्या सोचेंगे, इससे 2 कदम हट के सोचा जाए। तो मेरा मानना है अभी इंडिया में वो प्रयास नहीं है। मैं नहीं कहूँगा मेरे पास क्या लाइमलाइट में, निश्चित तौर पे मैं उस दिशा में कुछ करने की सोच रहा हूँ और हो सकता है अगले 2-2.5 साल में वो सामने आएगी।
जी Habib sir, we would like to know, there are so many movements in India related to disabled. In for the we all are establishing the NGOs in the different zone about the education. Why nobody has thought before about the disability course? We haven't found the result. Why we are unable to write down? We had so many scholars, even you all are. So why this step has not been taken before, when you all are saying disability discourse is much needed?
In fact, this is a question that was in fact baffling me as well when I started my research on the topic, representation and construction of the visually impaired in selected fiction. The reason why I think there was no any effective writing in the past probably could be because in the initial time they had other things to fight for, because they were totally denied of their right to live peacefully. They were denied of their right to education. They were denied the right to have an equal status in the society. So only after you are in a position to establish yourself and to get your basic minimum rights, you will definitely be thinking about your position in an intellectual way. Maybe we had a few writings. For example, in Malayalam, in Kerala, I have come across one particular writing done by Mr. George Kutti Kareprambil and Mr. Father Jose Murikel, which seems to be a very good discourse on disability. The title of the book is Persons with Disabilities in the Society. There are few such writings, of course, and none of such books have taken into consideration the discourses of the marginalized that are being emerged in the contemporary world. Still, they were doing it in their own way. But the problem was that none of them, even if there were a few writings which could have been considered like discourses, they are not able to highlight them in such a way. Probably they had some scheme to write a few books, they did that, but they were not able to project the same in the society with such a view that we are going to project issues of the disabled in such a new perspective or with an intellectual light in it. What the society lacked in the initial part, even if you were a good writer, you didn't have adequate platforms to publish your writing. And in the initial part now for the visually impaired or disabled, for example, visually impaired people, for example, we had inadequate medium to express ourselves. Now only after the development of the technology we have got adequate platforms to express ourselves and to project. And I think in this area of members, because we see in the Dalit and other socially marginalized people's discourses, members are coming more important. And of course, in a society wherein the people believe that the loss of the I is equal to the loss of I, as Thomas Carroll puts it, nobody would be able to give you a platform for expression, because they feel that, first of all, they feel that you only deserve charity, and secondly, they feel that they are not benefited by their communication with you, whereas you are only benefited by interacting with the mainstream society. In such a society wherein the individuality of a group is not properly recognized, how will you be able to establish a discourse of your own? Secondly, if you need to do all that, you need to have a base and an establishment of your own. Now that the NGOs in the state in India on different walks of the society are already been well established. They are well socially recognized. For example, now if the Kerala government is doing something now for the disabled, especially the visually impaired, they cannot do the same without taking into consideration the opinion of the Kerala Federation of the Blind. So naturally, when Kerala Federation of the Blind publishes something, it gets the attention of the authorities and the mainstream public. So I think we cannot actually accuse the NGOs for not being able to create a discourse of about the disabled. now that we have got our own establishment, now that we have adequate laws, adequate social justice schemes, adequate training programs and everything duly given by the governments concerned, I think it is time for us to think towards a discourse. And a discourse as such is not simply any talk. In the case of, I'm just adding to making a few points to like what Balanagendran said. The problem why the discourses are not accessible to the common people, because it is a discourse, and this is not a problem with the discourses on the disability alone. Even if it is the Derridian discourse or the Dalit discourse or any such big theoretical perspective, it has this problem of being jargonistic, being intellectual and being too erudite. And I think when the disabled develops their own discourse, it has to be somewhat simple and more accessible to the common people.
जी डॉक्टर यादव जी, मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहूँगा कि हिंदी में एक बड़ी मशहूर कहावत है, जहाँ पहुँचता नहीं रवि वहाँ पहुँचता है कभी। तो अभी तक डिसेबल के क्षेत्र में कोई कभी नहीं पहुँचा, या कोई भी, इतने राइटर हैं दुनिया भर के, इंडिया बेसिकली हम इंडिया की बात करें तो क्यों ये छूट जाता है सबके ध्यान से डिसेबिलिटी डिस्कोर्स को?
देखिए ऐसा है कि
एक छोटा सा सवाल ऐड कर दूं, क्या हमारे पास तथ्य हैं, क्या हमारे पास तथ्य हैं जिसके बेस पर हम डिसेबिलिटी डिस्कोर्स को लिख सकते हैं?
Yes. Let me begin with my differences with Dr. Sareen when he says there hasn't been any earnest endeavor in India. कोई खास कोशिश नहीं की गई है. मैं आपको बताऊं कि I'll not talk only of the classical scholars. See, बात सूरदास या गंगेश्वरानंद या ब्रजानंद की राइटिंग की नहीं है. अभी मैं आपको बताऊं, इन द मॉडर्न टाइम्स मैं आई कैन रिकॉल द कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ डॉक्टर गिरीश श्रीवास्तव. डॉक्टर गिरीश श्रीवास्तव हैज written 3 books. He is a disabled. His friends have written. एक राजकुमार सिंह जी हैं. He has also written on disability literature. Professor Dr. Prem Singh है. She has written around 7-8 books, and I have translated her 3 books. She has been a professor at Delhi University. इसके अलावा राजकुमार जी हैं, अवधेश पांडे हैं. और
कोई भी जानता ही नहीं.
No. See, let me conclude my point. Once I finish my point, yeah. So now the problem is that they haven't got their due recognition, but some of them have. See, Professor Ved Prakash Verma, उनकी पुस्तक his wonderful book एक यात्रा स्मृतियों की. I'm trying to translate it if I can contact him. तो ऐसे बहुत सारे लोगों ने लिखा है. अब they have not got the desired or the optimum due recognition in the mainstream of the writers. That is one thing. तो अब उसको अब देखिए, आजकल तो एड्स की दुनिया है ना. हम अपने साथियों का लेखन जब हाईलाइट नहीं कर सकते हैं, हमारी खुद की ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, अभी मुझे एक बात याद आ रही है, नॉट टू क्रिटिसाइज दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, नॉट टू क्रिटिसाइज दैट पर्सन, लेकिन मैं एक बात ये कह रहा हूं, अभी मैंने एक अपनी स्टोरी भेजा था जो इंटरनेशनल ईयर ऑफ डिसेबल्ड की सीन पर थी, जो हमारे साथ डिस्क्रिमिनेशन हुआ था, जो हमारा स्ट्रगल था और जो हमारा एजुटेशन था, उस एजुटेशन पर मैंने एक स्टोरी भेजा था ऑल इंडिया कन्फेडरेशन ऑफ द ब्लाइंड को कि भाई आप इसको अपने मैगजीन में छापिए. दे कुडंट गिव इट अ स्पेस. वो कहने लगे छोटा कर दीजिए, शॉर्ट कर दीजिए तो अच्छा रहेगा. अभी आप अपना कुछ लिखते हैं तो जितना मर्जी लिख लेते हैं. जब किसी मेंबर का, जब किसी रीडर का आया तो आपने वापस कर दिया, तो हमने उनको कहा डजंट मैटर द रिजेक्शन, आई विल सेंड इट टू द मेन स्ट्रीम मैगजीन्स. मुझे बहुत दुख लगा कि इंटरनेशनल ईयर फॉर डिसेबल्ड वाले सीन पर हमारे एजिटेशन, हमारे डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, हमारे साथ जो डिस्क्रिमिनेशन हुआ, जो हमने एजिटेशन किया, जिसमें हमारे लोगों पर लाठीचार्ज हुआ था और पीएम हाउस पर लाठीचार्ज हुआ था, अन्य स्टेट्स में जहां वो लाठीचार्ज हुआ था, एजिटेशन हुए थे, आई हैड रिटन अ स्टोरी ऑन दैट. And my own organization, I mean, being a visually impaired person, I am associated with them. I can say that is my organization, not our organization. Our organization and my organization, they rejected that story. And when I sent it to another magazine, it was published. तो कहने का मतलब ये है कि we talk of discrimination, we talk of we are always passing our grievances against not getting the due recognition in the mainstream of the literature. But what about internal discrimination? Our own people who are now trading in the name of disability welfare, they are discriminating. They are not highlighting. तो अगर किसी को, चाहे प्रोफेसर प्रेम सिंह हो या अदर्स हो, डॉक्टर अवधेश पांडे हो या डॉक्टर गिरीश श्रीवास्तव हो या राजकुमार सिंह हो, जिन्होंने डिसेबिलिटी पर लिखा है, मैंने इन लोगों का वर्क ट्रांसलेट किया, इनसे परमिशन लेकर के किया है, तो इनको अगर हाईलाइट हमारे लोग ही नहीं करते हैं तो गलत है, तभी तो इनको रिकॉग्निशन नहीं मिलता है. यू आर डूइंग अ ग्रेट जॉब. आई एम हाईली ऑब्लाइज्ड टू यू, लेट मी से. I'm highly obliged to Radio Udan, where I have got a platform to express my opinion, what has been seething inwardly in my heart. It has been boiling for a long time. But it's very kind of you that you have provided me this platform, and I have been very, I have been able to say all that very frankly.
Thank you, sir.
And I apologize if it hurts someone, some individual or some organization. I duly apologize. Right, okay. I mean duly or unduly, but you see, yes. But I have my democratic right to speak on Radio Udan since I have got platform.
No problem. I will get back to you again. Bala, I want to know two things. One, I want to know, as sir is saying, there are so many books. Do you really feel it is a part of disability course, or? And tell me what role technology can play, because you are young, you are very much associated with the technology. So in the disability discourse, how we can utilize technology and braille for writing the...
Very good question. Actually, I would like to put, like, has sir begun with literature, I wanted to put discourse in a wide perspective, that we must go beyond the literature. In my view, literature, you imagine, in India, you have 1,652 languages, out of which 22 have been authorized by the nation, out of which only 6 received classical language status. Why is it so? The first and foremost reason, those 6 languages, the literature of the languages contain what human civilization wants, from social needs, right-based needs, from your psychological, emotional, sexual, cognitive, and every needs. In the same sense, if we want to put, like as sir said, Dalit literature, yes, it has begun in several centuries ago, but we specifically focus from the period of Dr. Ambedkar and before that. On the other hand, if you want to talk about disability, I don't feel like there is a wide range of study or research based on disabled people's psychological, emotional, and cognitive effects. If we are talking about only what they need, what they want, it can be. We can write many things. We can write as a book, but but can we consider all books as literature? That's what my $1 million question. Because Sidney Sheldon writes, Dan Brown writes, Shakespeare writes, but Dan Brown and Shakespeare got into the place of literature, but Sheldon hasn't. So this is where we must look into that. Your second question, the technology. As a person, that's the foremost you remembered. Thanks for that. Braille has been forgotten. Braille is the identity of the visually challenged. For example, if you see, a man minus eyes is equal to blind. When? In 19th and 18th and 19th century. When people have evolved, when people started showing themselves in the society, slightly they have been turned into visually impaired. then now how we want to call ourselves and how we want to proclaim people or persons with visual challenges, or even if you see in the Radio Run website, we have written like people with visual defiance. So this is how the evolution will take place. For that evolution, we must widen ourselves from the papers. Of course, writing is the essence, but we must widen. Besides all that, in case of discourse of disability in India, we are still in the incipient stage. I mean, we are yet to cross the immortality. Infant mortality rate. We are still at the age of that newly born baby. So we must develop a bit in the discourse. What is discourse? What is disability? We must define what is disability in terms of legal, social, and political, medical. You don't have a disability in legal terms. You don't have in social terms. Only you have is at the mercy of doctors. So that's where we are lagging behind in case of disability. So for discourse, we can use technology, not now.
Okay. सरीन सर, जहां लिटरेचर में सूरदास जी का नाम आता है, बहुत नाम है सूरदास जी का, लेकिन जब किसी यंगस्टर को, किसी ब्लाइंड को सूरदास के नाम से बुलाया जाता है, he feel very much ashamed. One thing. Okay, so is it give a negative view to us? Second thing, on the other hand, हम एग्जाम्पल हर डिबेट और डिस्कशन में उनकी एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं, लेकिन जब कोई बोल देता है हमें कि देखो सूरदास आ रहा है, तो we got irritated. Other thing, एक मैटर चल रहा था कई जगह पे, हमारे जो प्रवर्ब्स हैं, इडियम्स हैं, ब्लाइंड को लेके बहुत ज्यादा है. ऑलमोस्ट ब्लाइंड और डॉग का कंपैरिजन किया जाता है लिटरेचर में इडियम्स को लेके. सो हाउ वी शुड रिस्पॉन्ड टू दैट?
देखिए, आदमी कोई कंकड़ पत्थर तो है नहीं, रिस्पॉन्स वेरी करेगा पर्सन टू पर्सन, उसका कॉज भी वेरी करेगा. मुझे कोई सूरदास कहता है तो एक बार मैं झटके में सोचता हूँ क्या मैं उसके जैसा महान हो सकता हूँ, क्योंकि मैंने सूरदास को पढ़ा है. एक आदमी जो बहुत नहीं पढ़ा है उसको लगता है सूरदास कोई घटिया शब्द है जो मेरे लिए यूज किया जा रहा है, कि वो भी ब्लाइंड थे, मैं भी ब्लाइंड हो गया. कोई तीसरा आदमी, अब वो सूरदास को सूरा भी कह के बुला लेंगे, प्रेमचंद की उसमें पढ़ेंगे तो ऐसा एग्जाम्पल मिल जाएगा. लेकिन सवाल सीधा सीधा ये है कि ये जो शब्द चल रहे हैं, मैं हालांकि थोड़ा सा आज के यंगस्टर से बिल्कुल तो नहीं पर कुछ डिफर करता हूं. मेरा मानना है शब्द बदलने से बहुत दुनिया नहीं बदलने वाली. आप ब्लाइंड कहिए या पर्सन विद ब्लाइंडनेस कहिए, विजुअली चैलेंज्ड कहिए, लेकिन मेरी ब्लाइंडनेस उन शब्दों से नहीं बदलेगी. और मेरी ब्लाइंडनेस के अंदर छिपा हुआ पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव जब तक नहीं ढंग से उभारा जाएगा तब तक वो लिटरेचर नहीं होगा. मैं अभी यादव जी ने कहा कि लिटरेचर लिखा गया है, मैं उनकी इस बात से मान सकता हूँ, मुझे नहीं जानकारी होगी, लेकिन जिन जिन के नाम गिनाई मैं उनमें से एक को भी ऐसा नहीं मानता हूँ जो अपने लिटरेचर को पॉपुलराइज नहीं कर पाता. लिखना और लिखकर जनता जनार्दन तक पहुंचाना, उसे प्रसिद्ध करना, ये भी लेखक की जिम्मेवारी है. उनमें से कोई गरीब नहीं है. डॉक्टर प्रेम सिंह गरीब नहीं है, डॉक्टर वेद प्रकाश वर्मा गरीब नहीं थे, लेकिन हर किसी की अपनी टिपिकल चाहत है, टिपिकल एंड्स है, उनको फुलफिल कर रहे हैं, इसीलिए सारे काम कर रहे हैं. आप ईडियम्स पढ़ाएंगे तो ईडियम्स हमेशा सोच से ही पैदा होते हैं. एक सीधा साधा ईडियम के अंदर इसी सोच है कि ब्लाइंड को गाइड करेगा तो क्या होगा. और आज हम लॉजिक दे रहे हैं द ब्लाइंड के आइडियोलॉजी के बारे में. मुझे बहुत दुख है. मुझे याद जब मैं एनएफबी ज्वाइन मैंने किया था, आइडियोलॉजी ऑफ द ब्लाइंड का की चर्चा था, उस पर हम लोग काम करते थे. ग्रेजुअली ड्यू टू वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट वो फिलॉसफी गायब हो गई. एक्टिवनेस आते आते समय लगा. एक्टिवनेस वाले इतने एक्टिव थे कि उनको फिलॉसफी की चिंता नहीं थी. लेकिन मेरा कहना यह है कि अगर वो चिंतित नहीं थे तो व्हाट आर वी डूइंग? समवेयर आवर फॉल्ट इज आल्सो देयर, और उसको स्वीकारना चाहिए. और हम उन इडियम्स को जिक्र करने में भी शर्म मानते हैं. क्यों नहीं खुल के जिक्र करते? मुझे याद है मैंने इसी आंदोलन पर नवभारत टाइम्स में मेरा एक आर्टिकल आया था, हम यह तो नहीं चाहते थे। मैं उसका जिक्र नोइंगली मैंने नहीं किया, क्योंकि मुझे अपनी कोई श्लाघा या प्रशंसा नहीं चाहिए, लेकिन उस ढंग से कि ये कहा जाए कि हम भीख नहीं चाह रहे थे और आंदोलन करके हम नौकरी दे के आपने खाली बैठा दिया, तो हमारे अंदर की त्रासदी तो ढूंढो। खाली बैठ के में क्या लग रहा है, उसको कोई लिखे तो सही कुछ, या यही लिखे खाली बैठ के मजा आ रहा है। जैसे बहुतों की सोच होती है, हेलो
जी जी,
यस यस
कि ये मान के चलते हैं कि ब्लाइंड तो खाली टाइम पास कर रहा है। भाई टाइम पास कौन नहीं कर रहा, वो ये सीरियसली देखें, इस दुनिया में है कौन जो टाइम पास नहीं कर रहा? मोर और लेस सब कोई टाइम पास ही कर रहे हैं, फिलिंग द वैक्यूम ऑफ द बर्थ एंड डेथ। उसको चाहे पॉजिटिव ढंग से कर रहे हैं या नेगेटिव ढंग से कर रहे हैं, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट। और आप ब्लाइंड के बारे में बड़े आराम से कह दोगे, सब बस स्टैंड किया तो कंडक्टर कहते हैं अरे यार क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है, तुम बाद में घूम फिर के दोबारा वहां जाना, एज इफ देयर टाइम वैल्यू इज नॉट देयर। तो ये चीजें तो देखिए एक टाइम।
सर एक और बात यहाँ पर, छोटी सी बात बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है कि जब हम किसी को ब्लाइंड बोलते हैं तो ही फील्स वेरी हैप्पी, बट एट द सेम टाइम अगर आप उसे अंधा बोलोगे तो ही फील्स वेरी शेम। उस पर भी
गुलामी की मानसिकता, इसके अलावा कुछ नहीं। गांव में जाइए, अंधा बोलना कोई बुरा नहीं मानता है, जो ब्लाइंड शब्द जानते नहीं है। अब ये बताइए, अगर आप पर्सन विद विजुअल इम्पेयरमेंट को हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट करें, कहाँ जाके ट्रांसलेट करेंगे? मैं एक किसी की किताब पढ़ रहा था, कह रहा था अगर इस ढंग से शब्द बदल दिए जाएंगे, कल को डिक्शनरी में जो 100 साल बाद आएगा ढूंढेगा ब्लाइंड का सही मीनिंग क्या है, वो खुद का चकरा जाएगा कि यार ये हो क्या रहा है। मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि आप पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड ना लीजिए, लेकिन शब्द का जो यथार्थ है, ये सच है कि मैं टकराऊंगा, ये सच है कि मुझे दिख नहीं रहा है, क्या मुझे नहीं दिख रहा है तो मुझे ना देखने वाला कहने में। अब जैसे लोग नहीं ले पाते, सबसे जानदार शब्द जो किसी को गाली भी ना दे, वो उर्दू का नाबीना शब्द है, उसके इक्विवेलेंट कोई शब्द ही नहीं है
जी।
लेकिन नाबीना हम यूज नहीं करेंगे, हम सबको उसका डर है साहब, ये मुसलमानों की भाषा है। हम अजीब अजीब उस फ्रेम से निकलना नहीं चाहते
जी। Habib sir, I want to know one question. In the mainstream, like when we talk about the inclusive education, and most of the teachers are not aware with the disability, due to the lack of disability discourse, we can consider it or not, first thing. Other thing, one question from the listener for you, that in the school, when a sighted people does something, they have been punished by the teachers, but when disabled makes a mistake, they have been, left on mercy. So it is a question of the listener. Why so? And in disability discourse, how can it play a role to educate even our teachers in the mainstream?
Of course, lack of proper education to the teachers is one of the reasons why, in our schools, the teachers are not able to. Could you repeat the first question?
Hello? I want to know, can we say, because in mainstream we don't have any literature, we don't have books, so teachers are also unaware of the fact of disability.
Fine. Okay, that has some partial role. In fact, even if we don't have a very structured discourse on disability, still our teachers are more or less trained to deal with the people who are facing different challenges. But the reason, of course, is true. What you said is true in a different sense, that they haven't come across any narrations where the original experience of the challenged person is described. So they are still perceiving the particular person, the student who comes to them, in the so-called perception that is already formed. They are perceiving them with whatever ideas they had already gathered about. Maybe through the social contact, maybe through watching some disabled person in the society and all that. For example, they never recognize the autonomy of a disabled person or a challenged person. So they still imagine this particular person to be there are two major things while considering the challenged people in literature or in actual society. One is subhumanization, that is nullification, whose individuality is not taken into consideration when they feel that he is not up to us, he is worth living just because he doesn't live the deserve the mainstream consideration. The second is superhumanization, glorification, wherein the disabled person or the challenged person is attributed with many extraordinary powers. But in my view, either it is a glorification or it is nullification, just like what Edward Said calls, it is a way of othering. What the general society tries to prove is that you are different from us. So what we have to make aware of our teachers and such trainers is that, of course, like this particular person is also just a human being like all of you. He may have a difference, but he has strategies to survive. So I think that the disability difference discourse can play a vital role, because we understand that in the case of feminists and Dalits, the discourses created by them have already proven that they have a, even though they are socially different in some respects, they are also quite human beings like the mainstream people. So here again, through the discourses of the disabled, we can definitely make the general society aware of the fact that we are also human beings like you all, and our feelings and our flesh and blood are like you. Maybe we have a few problems, but we are adequate. We have adequate strategies to survive the challenges. And of course, the answer to the question of the listener, of course, is that the teacher is not yet able to understand the identity or the state of the particular candidate concerned. He does not know. I had an experience, like when I was taking a class now, a few students created a few troubles, malpractices in my class. Later, when I didn't know that, and later when I went back to my department, a colleague of mine, a sighted person, tells me that, "Hello, Mr. Habib, I have to convey news to you. Today when I was passing by your class, I noticed a few students creating problems in your class. I secretly with signs called them out and advised that you should not make such practices." Actually, who made the big blunder? Who was disgracing me severely? Was it the colleague or was it the student? I feel that the disgrace done by the colleague is, of course, a severe degree, and it is more hurting than what the students did. So the awareness of our society still, they don't feel that we deserve such considerations. They don't consider us like human beings who have equal feelings and equal dignity and equal right to live. So here again, disability discourse has to play a very big role.
Yeah, thank you. And because we are in the last round of our discussion, so closing comment we got. And Dr. Yadav, last question आपसे मैं closing comment के साथ जानना चाहूँगा brief में.
Welcome.
Literature और जो women literature है, क्या आपको लगता है कि सोसाइटी में उसके आने से बहुत ज़्यादा फर्क पड़ा है? क्योंकि आज भी हम तमाम प्रॉब्लम्स देखते हैं उन दोनों में, लिटरेचर अपना दलितों में भी देखें और वीमेंस की प्रॉब्लम्स तो जग जाहिर है. तो क्या आपको लगता है कि डिसेबिलिटी लिटरेचर बहुत ज़्यादा बेनिफिट हमारे लिए हो सकता है देखते हुए इन चीज़ों?
जी देखिए, ऐसा है कि मैं वहां से अपनी बात शुरू करता हूं जहां सरीन साहब ने छोड़ा था. और वो बहुत मार्मिक बात कह रहे थे कि लैंग्वेज, लिटरेचर, थॉट्स एंड कल्चर. तो जो यूज ऑफ वर्ड्स है वो थॉट्स क्रिएट करता है, इमोशंस क्रिएट करता है. तो जैसे पहले एक मुहावरा होता था, लोग यूज करते थे और बहुत हंसते थे कि अंधी पीसे और कुत्ते खाएं. अब उसमें विमेन की भी बात है और डिसेबिलिटी की भी बात है. जेंडर और डिसेबिलिटी दोनों बातें हैं. अब इस मुहावरे के खिलाफ स्ट्रगल हुआ, अब यूज में नहीं है. लोगों ने प्रोटेस्ट किया, पीपल रजिस्टर्ड देयर revolt. Now society doesn't use it. एक तो है कि भाई कोई कहे कि ये मेरी माताजी बैठी और दूसरा कहे कि ये मेरे बाप की पत्नी बैठी। एक बच्चा बोले कि ये मेरे पिताजी हैं, ये मेरे फादर हैं, और वही कहे कि ये मेरा बाप है। तो दैट क्रिएट्स a very different kind of sentiments. अब मैं कहना ये चाहता हूं कि दलित and women, they have been combatant. They have written their literature, they have inspired others to write their literature. We should follow the same direction. हमारी भी रिकग्निशन हो जाएगी। आज नारी अबला नहीं रही, सबला हो गई, उसने अपने आप को सबला बनाया है। तो हम अपना काम करें, हम अपनी लिटरेचर लिखें, हम अपना ट्रांसलेशन करें अपने लिटरेचर का, अपने मित्रों को प्रेरित करें, एंड वंस वी आर एबल टू इंस्पायर अदर्स वी विल विन द रेस। हम बहुत आगे आ चुके हैं। इसी हमने एज ऑफ एनहिलेशन क्रॉस किया, हमने एज ऑफ इमेंसिपेशन क्रॉस किया, हमने एज ऑफ इंटीग्रेशन क्रॉस किया। नाउ वी आर इन द एज ऑफ इंक्लूसिविज्म। वी आर एडवोकेटिंग for the politics and philosophy of inclusivism. But then that can be possible only when we combat as women have combated, as Dalits have combated, and that is possible only when we write our literature, we translate our literature, we advocate our philosophy, we communicate our psychology. Disability, as I said, disability is a psychology. Disability is a sociology in itself. Disability is a philosophy. Disability is a history. Let us advocate this cause through literature. हम एक बात कहते हैं कि literature is life and life is literature. Let us communicate our life and literature. People will understand us. Society will understand us, and we shall be accommodated happily. Let's be positive. That is my perception. You see, I mean, one may differ, but that is my individual perception.
Ji. And thank you so much, sir. We are impressed. Balanagendran, one last question goes to you with the closing comment, then will the closing comment of Sareen sir will come. Bala, you know, since we have started Radio Udan, I personally tell you my experience that our blind, respected elder, their autobiography has been published. But we know in the programs now, nobody knows if, whose autobiography has been written or no. They themselves has to tell us that our autobiography has been written. You can read now. So autobiography, how can it play a huge role in a disability discourse? Or how we can write our disability discourse? What are the steps we can take to write it down? So start it.
Yeah. First, autobiography, as the question you put it. As a reader, first of all, when I started reading something, now I can say like I'm reading every day. But at the earliest, I have read autobiographies of few people. But afterwards, I found one thing. Every autobiography is to inspire. Every autobiography, I hope that our respective elders won't mind what I'm going to say. Every autobiography include exaggerations. Like writing itself an exaggeration. Every autobiography seemed to me like we have read many, even if you see so, many autobiographies are there about the people with disabilities, as you said rightly. But the second thing that you pointed out, why it has been created, this is where awareness. This is what we are talking as discourse. That's what the problem. If we say awareness, most of the people know. If you say discourse, only few know. This is what my understanding about discourse and awareness. Discourse is nothing but a royal way of creating awareness. So that's where we are lagging behind. And also, the thing, literature, especially what we have to write. There are few things. Would you like to write, as we speak, what the feminists have targeted? You read Alice Walker, Toni Morrison, Virginia Woolf, Naomi Wolf. many other, take all feminists, they have focused on their womanhood, on their female sexual element. I'm not going into eroticism. If you talk about feminism, there is female sexual element. First and foremost, in case of disability literature, we must get out of the prism of need-based, benefits that we have gained. We must get out of the prism of what we have learned, how we have struggled. We must focus on the prism of what we feel inside. That is where we need to portray that. Then only it will attract. You need attraction, inspiration, right? So in that case, if you want to attract and inspire, you must portray what you feel inside rather than what we play the humdrum. I rightly put it up. So this is the major reason I feel why we have no awareness, because we haven't been told. The first and foremost thing, what we know, the visually impaired elder, rightly what he would have written. That's what the first thing that comes to our mind. So this sort of things must be avoided. So for that we must change from the autobiography to some sort of literary form. There are various sort of literary form where we can inculcate our biography or our autobiography. That's what I believe. As a closing comment, disability discourse is still a vague and an unambiguous sounds to me. It's an African continent. Like, we need a lot of exploration and excavation. Disability discourse in
Latin and Greek to you.
Yeah, especially, sir. Yeah, undoubtedly. Discourse or disability, as I said in the earliest, it's a proletariat of the proletariat class is what disability class. So first we must look for socio-economical and political stability. We have no socio, we don't have economical, we don't have political stability as of now. Then only we can go into lingual, literary and art and culture. So let's hope in future we will say it is okay, even good to be disabled.
Thank you, Bala. And a quick word from Srin sir, because time is already up. Srin sir, 2-3 questions in the quick. First question of the listener: क्या हमें ऐसी idioms को syllabus से निकाल देना चाहिए जो सीधा टारगेट करती है ब्लाइंड को? सेकंड क्वेश्चन, अगर हम डिसेबिलिटी डिस्कोर्स लिखते हैं, क्या हमारे हिस्ट्री, जैसे आपने बोला हिस्ट्री के बारे में लिखना चाहिए, क्या हमारे पास तथ्य है? और आपके क्लोजिंग कमेंट आज की पूरी डिस्कशन को लेकर।
देखिए, पहली बात तो मैं मानता हूँ दुनिया से कट के नहीं रह सकती। जो लिटरेचर के डेवलपमेंट के प्रोसेस में ईडियम डेवलप हो गए वो लिटरेचर का हिस्सा तो रहेंगे। ग्रेजुअली लोगों की आदतें हटानी होंगी, क्योंकि केवल निकाल देने से काम नहीं चलेगा। आप देखेंगे हर कोर्स में ब्रेल डाला गया, ब्रेल पर एक लेसन है, टीचर सीधा कहता है देयर इज नो नीड टू रीड दिस। तो क्या मतलब है? आप फोर्स करें क्वेश्चन जबरदस्ती ब्रेल पर, ऑब्वियसली टीचर कहेगा इसे पढ़ो। वी आर नॉट एम्फेटिकली डूइंग समथिंग। आपका दूसरा सवाल क्या था, दोबारा कहें तो?
जी, हिस्ट्री, क्या हमारे पास तथ्य हैं डिसेबिलिटी डिस्कोर्स को लिखने के?
मैं बाकायदा हिस्ट्री ऑफ द ब्लाइंडनेस लोगों द्वारा लिखी गई है, मैंने उसे अपने थीसिस में यूज भी किया है और मेरी वो थीसिस को बुक के फॉर्म में आ गई है। मैं प्रयास कर रहा हूँ उसे हिंदी में छोटी छोटी किताबों के रूप में निकाला जाए ताकि उसका ज़्यादा इम्पैक्ट रहे, क्योंकि वो किताब ही अपने आप में इतनी महंगी है कि आम आदमी खरीद नहीं सकता उसे। मैं अपना अंतिम कमेंट मेरा इतना ही है, जैसा कि बाला भी कह रहे थे, कि ब्लाइंड को मनुष्य समझने पर जोर देने का के साहित्य के विकास की ज़रूरत है। शब्द बदल देने से कुछ नहीं होगा, ये बताना पड़ेगा कि ब्लाइंड अच्छा भी हो सकता है, बुरा भी हो सकता है, गुंडा भी हो सकता है, वो बेसिकली इंसान है, विद ऑल एस्पिरेशंस, with all negativity, with all positivity and even with all hardships। जब तक वो सीधा हम सच्चा लिखेंगे नहीं, यहाँ ग्लोरिफिकेशन से काम नहीं चलेगा। ग्लोरिफिकेशन जनरली हर लिटरेचर की बिगिनिंग होती है, पर ग्रेडी हमें ग्राउंड लेवल पे आना होगा और ग्राउंड रियलिटीज की चर्चा करनी होगी। अब मैं उसी मंगला वाली बात से ही अंत करूंगा। आप मंगला नॉवल को पढ़ के देखिए, उसके बाद अंत में आपके मन पे क्या असर होता है। जब मंगला 12वां अध्याय गीता का पढ़ती है कि समाशत्रौ च मित्रेच तथा मानापमानो, कि ब्लाइंड के लिए मान अपमान कुछ नहीं है, 10 जगह घूम के आई लड़की को सिंपली स्वीकार कर लेता है। तो आफ्टर ऑल आप क्या समझना चाहते हैं? ब्लाइंड को पत्थर बना देंगे या डिसेबल को पत्थर समझ लेंगे? तो मुझे लगता है उसका शायद इंसान भी कुछ सोचेगा। आई हैव ऑल डाउट्स। इंसान समझने के लिए 2 कदम बढ़ाएं, शायद कुछ रियल सेंस में डिसेबिलिटी डिस्कोर्स की बिगनिंग हो।
जी, सरीन सर, हबीब सर, डॉक्टर यादव जी और बाला नगेंद्रन, आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आपने अपने बहुत ही कीमती व्यूज विचार हमारे सामने रखे। होपफुली वी विल गेट एडवांटेज ऑफ दिस एंड सम ऑफ our listeners, our friends will be encouraged to write disability discourse. Thank you so much today joining me in the discussion.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you very much indeed.
And our next program is very much ready. Mrs. Confusion, if you are preparing for the banking exam, don't miss it. It will help you everywhere. Within 1 minute, we will be back with the Mrs. Confusion.